Sean Tracey, good to see you, man.
Hey, good to see you too, Eric. How you doing?
Good, not too bad. Day by day. It's my friend Jim. You met Mike, and
Hey, Jim,
just
Mike.
want just wanted to talk to you about you today for about 30 minutes. Your baseball journey. I know you.
Okay.
It looks like you're
Yeah.
back throwing again. Is that?
Yeah, today's my first day back on a mound against any kind of hitter
Oh, nice. Okay.
in a couple of years. So it should be exciting. Hopefully, I can execute my changeup and keep
The
them off
cambio.
my fastball,
Yeah.
right? Because in fact I forgot the pocket radar in the truck, so after we get off I'll have to go back and get it. A lot of people are curious
Oh.
to know uh what the fastball velocity is, and the emoji of a big piece of poop just comes back to them, right? Yeah, so it'll
I
be
don't
like
think so,
that
man. I
today.
think you still can throw it.
Yeah, we'll see if I can crack 75. That's real at 45 years old. That's pretty firm. So
Well, just think about this. When I met you, I was your age now.
yeah, I do consider that when I go back into, some of the, hey, where was I 10 years ago? What was going on? And how are the guys in their 40s doing? And so I'm definitely walking across a bridge today that you've walked across. And so it should be
Yeah.
a lot of fun. And I kind of wonder, like, hey, could we assemble that team or staff again? Is there a potential for a
That'd be
connection,
fun. Yeah.
another trip, so to speak?
I've
I don't know.
I've lobbied for that for since Canada in 2018. I told Skip that I'd do all the work. I'd call the guys, whatever, and he hasn't said yes yet. So I keep trying, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's just a lot to put together, I'm sure.
Yeah, and
So
he's 83 now, so he likes to
yeah,
just hang out at his ranch. Has he
okay.
ever asked you to work the camp in Tehachapi?
Oh no, they knew that I've been out of state for a good better part of the last 10 years. So
Oh,
to
okay.
make travel like that, travel arrangements, etc., I'm sure he could find guys that were more available, closer, uh, probably a little bit more connected in the game. Because I stepped away from lessons too for a while, as
Oh,
far
okay.
as like um, coaching the game. I was doing virtual work and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
as you know, my the last several years I've been a wilderness guide and doing kayaking, so
Hmm.
I really
Yep.
haven't been fully committed or basically able to set aside time for baseball.
Okay. But that sounds like it's changing now.
Yeah, it is. So I'm back in California and somewhere here in South Fontana right now, about to throw with
Oh, okay.
actually,
Cool.
it's a funny story, but out of my back fusion, before I connected with the UCLA team, I was lower fused, 2010. So
Hmm.
um, it was like the spring of 2012. My brother-in-law convinced me to go out to his adult league team. It was a couple of my cousins and some of their friends from their college team out at University of Redlands, and the head coach of the team, um, good guy, actually alumni at my junior college, but a couple years older. And
Hmm.
when we met that first day, I was supposed to just play outfield, and you know, kind of didn't want to get on the mound coming out of my fusion, and didn't want to get anyone's hopes up. Like, hey, this guy can pitch a little bit, because you always
Yeah.
need strike throwers in Sunday league. So, long story short, I run one down in the gap, uh, glove side, catch the ball, reverse pivot, and throw the runner out at second, who was, not expecting me to run that ball down, and
Hmm.
come jogging back in off that double play. And the coach goes, you've played a little bit more baseball than you're telling me. And so
Wait
we
a
all
minute.
started
Did
chuckling a
you
little
play in the
bit.
major leagues? Hang on.
Well, I mean, it was just kind of
Oh,
like,
he
yeah, he
hadn't
played a little
connected the
college
dots yet.
baseball.
Is that
What's that?
He hadn't connected the dots just yet. He
No, he
hadn't
hadn't.
he hadn't
But
Googled you.
no, no, like it was really under the radar at that time. And
Oh, okay.
anyways, we had a good day and several other good days. And yeah, I don't know if I've ever pitched at this park here, but
Oh,
um,
okay.
it should be fun.
Yeah, it's always fun. No matter what happens, it's fun. That's what I was trying to tell you about a month or so ago. Is I mean, I do it for sanity, man. Every week I throw at least one time just to keep my mind halfway sane.
Yeah,
So,
out at the lake, it's hard to do. So it
yeah,
has been fun
right.
getting back, throwing the baseball, doing lessons. It's
Hmm.
a really different scenario now. 10 years later, you can have AI build you a website in a template in 5 minutes, and within an hour, you have it pretty much edited down to what 10 years ago might have taken someone a couple weeks to build. So
Oh, okay.
um,
Yeah.
that's exciting. But on a lighter note, I don't know if I hit enough KY in my glove today. Come to think about it, right? I don't know if I have enough hair wax in my hair either. But I'm sure I'm sure we'll get through a couple innings, whether it's I go
Oh
locate
goodness.
some Neosporin out of my first aid kit or something, right?
No, as I mentioned in 2012, all you have to do is buy into the combio process and everything will be fine. Just
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
throwing the changeup, man.
yeah.
You don't have to throw hard.
That's how it's going to be today. I hope I'm breaking glass at 58 miles an hour with that changeup and topping the fastball at about 72. If I can get those numbers and that
Separation.
spread,
There
it's
you go.
yeah, exactly.
15,
That's a good day
15
if I
miles
can
an hour,
separate.
man. There you go.
Yep,
And
yep.
that's why
So
Jim's here because you and I are speaking this foreign language right now that nobody has any idea what we're saying. So
right,
Jim,
okay,
being that he played baseball, he's like an interpreter for the
okay,
Oh,
audience.
no, what I am is I have the maturity of a sixth grader, and
okay.
I'm sitting here listening to this and just laughing the whole time because I'm thinking the average person's not really getting the pitching
No.
spread. I think about me, I might throw it 60. So my changeup, is it underhand? I don't really know how to do that. I did look you up though. I'm a huge baseball fan, but I'm a terrible baseball fan. I am a
Okay.
one-dimensional fan. I've been a Dodger fan since I was a kid.
Okay.
But I love the game, love the teamwork, I love the strategy, everything behind it.
Hmm.
And so I looked you up. I saw you were born in Upland, so you're not far from where you were born.
No, yeah,
Uh,
pretty close to home
I
again.
I love Upland. My favorite golf course in Southern California is Red Hill Country Club, which is in Upland.
Yep, yep. It is a
And
nice course.
and then I noticed that you went to UC Irvine, and I live in Irvine right now, and that's about all I really knew about you. I found an obscure video of you to see how you threw. I was curious to see you as a pitcher, but I mean the most important thing is when Eric and I were talking about who can we have on from Eric's world that he'd love me to meet, he immediately talked about you guys meeting about 13, 14 years ago and immediately really connecting. And now you're living in
Yep.
Arizona, is that correct?
Yeah, I was getting a phone call, guys. Sorry.
I
Yeah,
see it.
so I think it was because I was getting a phone call. Uh,
Mm.
He said he got a phone call.
Yeah, I think that's what was cutting out on the microphone at least because I didn't hear you guys for a second. So I think it was because the game that was going on at the field there behind me. Right? Can you see my hand? I got glare, but behind me here, the game is
Okay.
finished, and so I was getting a phone call. I don't know if I'm going to be in relief or start or like I said, I didn't really prepare um, either way, but I'm sure I'll get a couple innings worked. I threw off the mound the other day. But I think the question was, I was living in Arizona, and now I'm back in Southern California. Um, it's a situation where the lake there, I was doing a kayak tour business, and the lake waters got really low. Lake Powell, if you have read about it, is in a situation it hasn't seen in the last like 40 something years. So instead of trying to expand the business and really operate something that I didn't really truly foresee myself operating, as far as everything involved in the pieces of equipment and the total operation, decided to put the business for sale and come back to California and
Hmm.
essentially get back into baseball. And because
Good.
baseball, like pitching lessons and private training, is so much different now than it was 10 years ago. You got virtual,
Hmm.
and everything since COVID has really changed it. And
Yeah.
to be in Southern California and in a hotbed of pitching, um, and then expand out from there, that will give me a chance to really put a brand out there and take the things that I learned building websites, building products, and everything you have to do for a small business to operate, and turn it back into, you know, uh, doing lessons in a way that I didn't do them before. Because it used to be, hey, I'm just going to go out to the field, catch a bullpen, tell them what's going on. But now you got the video, and you got, a whole layer of things that you can have the athlete do between your next workout. And it really puts them further forward at the end of the day.
Yeah. Video was something for me, and that was in the '80s. That really, I went from being good to really good in a short amount of time using video to my advantage.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you can break it down, that was before digitizing, the video. So I was
Right.
on VHS.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now it's on your phone. It's 10 seconds long, real quick to
Yeah.
edit and then send out. And
Right.
next thing you know, like, you can overlay it with some kind of application that's going to give you
Yeah.
biomechanical feedback and positioning angles. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's fascinating. And shoot, from there, you never know what the athlete is capable of because of the tools that you have to help them understand their potential.
Well, I'm glad you got back into baseball, man. Your knowledge is the best, one of the best I've ever experienced. I mean,
Well,
talking to
I
baseball guys
appreciate
my
it.
whole life. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool to feed knowledge to tourists and tell them about the river and the water and the land and the rock and whatever. But at the end of the day, it was very single serving, and they're
Hmm.
gone. You never connect with those people again. A rare percentage you do, but when you're doing the baseball development, it's a different mindset. You have someone coming to you for a service,
Hmm.
and they know you're of that like top tier 1%. Unfortunately, in the kayaking world, anyone can go get a kayak and guide certificate. Anyone can go open up a business, and
Yeah.
anyone can kind of put the right people in place and say, hey, this is a valuable product. Whereas not everyone can do that with teaching the game. And that's why we're here today to talk about that a little bit,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah. Yeah.
and getting to some of the things for the audience. Eric, you and I, we've pitched in Canada. We've, pitched in different places throughout the world. And
Puerto
we're
Rico.
talking about the velocities. We're used to pitching at a velocity of 80 to 90 miles an hour. And that's why when we're referencing the 60s and the 70s, it's dry humor for us. But for the audience, that might be, throwing your arm out. So, we'll kind of see
Oh
how
man.
that goes. Like I said again today, I'm really thinking about going back to and I hope there's some sense of humor on this podcast. But
Oh
I
yeah, of
do have a
course, man.
first aid kit, and I think I'm gonna go put some Neosporin in my nose. It's a little dry out here. Might need a little bit, a little bit of
Yeah. Yeah.
slack on that ball today. We'll see. And I think that reminds me of when we went to Canada, that trip. we were having to do the same thing because we were up in elevation. It was a little dry up there.
Right? Yeah.
Fingertips were not really feeling the ball like they should,
No.
and we got to some Q-tips and some KY in the nostrils the night before the game, and it really does
Oh my God.
it does matter, and it does make sense. Like I'm like a half an hour before this game, I'm really starting to get into some senses. Like, okay, where are my hands at? Are they dry today? Are they, things I haven't thought about in a long time, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of
Well, when we were in
kind of
Canada,
crazy.
we were going to Canada in 2012. I met you because number one, the bus driver was horrible and he kept stopping and starting and he was giving you back spasms. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
you walk to the front of the bus and on a 10-hour bus ride, Jim, 10 hours from Seattle to Grand Forks. It was like the
yep.
epitome of minor league baseball. So
It really
halfway
was.
through, Sean goes to the front of the bus. He's like, dude, I'm pitching tomorrow. You're giving me back spasms by how you're driving this bus. Is there any possibility that you could drive a little smoother? He's like, oh yeah, okay, sure. So he goes back to the back of the bus, and nothing changed. It was exactly the same.
Yeah,
So we
yeah,
get off the bus at a gas station, and I said, hey man, are you okay? What's going on? He said, oh, I got back spasms. The way this guy's driving the bus is driving me nuts. And so we started chit chatting back and forth, and immediately connected based on I injured my shoulder and he had his injuries, and I didn't know who Sean was. I just thought he was a cool guy, and so from that point we're just like that the rest of that trip, and Janet was with me. She was my girlfriend at the time, and so
yep.
Sean met Janet. uh, she got to meet all the guys including Skip, and yeah. So, and then the next time we were this is a funny story. I hope you remember this one, Sean. We were in Puerto
Okay.
Rico in 2015, and
Yep.
Sean, I mean, I think he threw every game.
Pretty
Oh my
much sounds
goodness. There
right.
was one game. There was one game where Coach Adams is like, "Can you keep going?" He's like, "Oh yeah, sure." And I think he threw like 90 pitches the day before, but it didn't matter. He just kept going. So then we get to the final, like into the playoff format of this tournament, and we're playing against a team from Texas. And
Yep. Yep.
Adam Adam pitched the game, and I came in the last inning. Skip gave me the last inning, so it
Okay.
was quick 1-2 outs, first out, second out. Third guy comes up, I get a quick 2 strikes on him, and then my third pitch is on the backstop. And I am laughing my butt off. I am laughing. I cannot stop laughing. And the guy in the batter's box, I remember the look on his face was like, what is he laughing about? This guy's insane. So catcher throws me the ball back, and then strike three above his hands. So 1-2, ball on the backstop, strike three above his hands. And I walk off the field. I'm like, okay, cool. We got out of the inning. And Sean says to me, hey, great job, man. I was like, oh, thanks, dude. He says, hey, do you know who that was that was in the batter's box just now? I said, I don't know. I'm just trying to get out. So he's like, oh, he's so-and-so. He played for the Miami Marlins last year in the major leagues. Do you remember that, Sean?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like,
They
oh
were
my
flying in.
God.
Yeah. They were flying in some talent.
He
I
said,
remember there.
he said, you're
What's that?
48 years old. You just struck out a guy that was in the major leagues last year. I was like, that's one of my favorite memories, Sean. Honestly, that was one of my favorite memories playing baseball was as a 48
Well,
year old
yeah.
striking
That
out a
was an awesome.
25-year-old.
That was an awesome tournament and a really cool. I remember that was that a night game if I recall correctly. I believe, right? That was a pretty cool
The
night
night
game.
game, you threw the night game, I believe, yeah. But it was a day
If
game. It was like a
memory.
morning game I
Okay.
think it was the
What?
Roberto Clemente Field we played on.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Now, was there two Texas teams? I thought maybe we played that Texas team twice, right? Um,
could be, yeah. I think you might be
because
right.
right,
I
memory
think,
serves me right, they flew in a AAA pitcher, a guy who was
yeah,
fresh out of AAA. And
Right.
but yeah,
Yes.
I do remember that the Roberto Clemente Field, and definitely some of the other fields. But that was a fun tournament. I was just talking about that, not too long ago, and that would be a fun one to reconnect some guys and go down and
Oh yeah.
play.
Puerto Rico would be
Maybe
fun.
not as under Skip as the Bruins, but just hey, let's get into the whatever 45U bracket, 50U bracket, and go have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean,
Okay.
can
Yeah.
I plug your business and ask you a question? Now I'm
Sure,
fascinated. So I I live in Irvine, huge baseball town. You can see kids working on their game every single day because we have so many diamonds out here.
correct.
Huge Dodger fan. As you know, we send pictures up and down all year long, and I read so much about the analytics that the Dodgers use, but it's more about the biomechanical stuff and in adjusting a release location and spin and all of that. So where do you're working with a kid that has talent right now. Let's say that he's that 80 to 90 mile an hour range and he wants to pick up. You're now as instructor, what are you going to look at first biomechanically to try and figure out how you can maximize velocity without injuring the arm and give them all the movement and all of that? Where do you start?
That's a good question, Jim. I'm going to start and I'm going to break down his process. I'm going to ask him how many times is he throwing a week? What kind of throwing is he getting in during that, weekly duration? I'm going to ask him about the intensity of that throwing. We just said the frequency, but within that, I'm going to assess where that thrower is in the biomechanics. Is it getting enough? Is the body getting enough long toss in a 5 to 7 day period? Um, other things too, flexibility. Where are the hips at? Both internal and external rotation on both sides. With that being said, how's the core? What kind of core process is going on or needs to be implemented, changed, adapted, whatever? Then from there, obviously, I'm also going to look at diet and basically fluidity and how lubric the body is over a course of the 5 to 7 day period. Like, are we getting in the stage of dehydration? So then we're losing flexibility curves throughout our, progress up and forward. Because that would, a dehydrated day creates a plateau. Essentially, you get more sore, stiff, etc. Maybe not as likely to have a strong next workout kind of thing. But then from there, I'm also going to look at like, okay, in the whole throwing category with long toss, what are the positions we're looking at in the biomechanics? How fluid are we in our transitions? How great is the coil? How great is the unload of the coil? And where can we kind of maybe create some aha moments here and there in positionings and sequences, so then the body might flow a little bit more efficiently and maximize a mean velocity and then also a top tier velocity. Because when you're talking about 85 to 90 and then 90 to 95, it's not that much. It's just little tiny things that add up that
Hmm.
really separate.
Right.
I mean, Eric knows, um, even in your old age, you can do these core floor routines and different stretches that help you feel on time and help you deliver a pitch without any real tension that isn't
Pain.
wanted, right?
I got
Pain,
nothing. No
exactly.
pain.
Yeah.
59.
we're
No
yeah
pain.
we're in our 40s, no pain. We don't like that word, so that's why we look for basically helping the athlete recruit better positioning for a stronger, more
Right.
powerful explosion
Yep.
and, release of the trajectory, which is the baseball.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm all
Holy
about the
shit, that
fluidity
was a
of it.
good
For
answer.
sure.
thank you. I don't know if I could say that word for word again, but I'll have to rewatch this so I understood what
I
kind of, you know,
I'm
uh,
betting you can because it's a clear passion. Because when you said process and it started from the very beginning, every little thing before you even pitch, that's a guy that's lived it, learned it,
Yeah.
and is passionate about it. You're going to help a lot of students out there with everything that you just shared. That's awesome.
well, I
The
appreciate
thing
it.
about Sean
Thanks for the
that
great
stands
question.
out for me, thing about Sean that stands out for me, there's a lot of things, but one of them is that he's always in tip-top shape. I mean, like amazing,
We'll
and
see about today, guys.
he
We'll
lives,
see.
yeah, he lives what he says. Like that's the part I think that helps kids these days. They don't What I learned from coaching is they don't believe anything you say. They believe what they
Right,
see,
right.
and so
And,
if you
and
can
that's
do it,
actually part of today too, is to go
yeah,
put some, hey, let's go do it on film, right?
right,
And so
yep,
if I have to hide the radar gun, I will, but
yep.
You know, the greatest thing about these kind of leagues, you get the scuff ball back, right? And you're like, oh man, I
Right.
wish I could, really get this next throw on video and see how much break I got because of a scuff, right?
I
So
hate it when kids throw the scuff ball out. I'm like, what are you doing? Just keep that. No, no, no. That cut, you want that. Use that. What? How do you
yeah,
do
one
that? Oh, well, here, let me show you.
yeah, so one of Greg
There's,
Maddox's best highlight like reels on social media when he was with the Braves. There's a pitch that had, I don't know, probably close to 20 inches of horizontal break on it. And they interview
wow.
him about it. And it's the one that starts in the left-handed batter's box outside of the chalk. And it comes back, breaks hard, and gets a guy strike three looking, right-handed hitter.
Yeah.
And they
I think
talk
I've
about
seen
it.
it.
And he talks about, yeah, I mean, it's pretty, well watched, basically. And he talks about how he got a scuff ball back. And,
Yeah.
um,
Right.
so we'll see if I can do that today.
All right. Well, I guess we got to wrap it up, Sean. So my question to you, sir, is this: what is your favorite song associated with baseball?
That's a tough one. I mean, you got,
Do you have a favorite?
Fogarty and Put Me in Coach, right? That's a really highly played song. So
Or
I'd have
any
to.
like walk up song or warm up song, like what you would choose to warm up to and something like that.
Okay, so I think, I didn't have a whole lot of time up in the majors, unfortunately, after it's all said and done. But Inner Sandman with, Metallica, because I
Sandman.
did watch
Yeah.
Rivera get his 400th save. And that song playing in Old Yankee Stadium, that is
There
the
you go.
best. That is just
Yeah.
there's something about it. So
Yep.
yeah.
I was telling my friend I'm gonna go coach my friend Tim McCord, who's with Evanescence. He's a guitar player for Evanescence. I'm gonna coach
Okay.
him, his son, today. And I told him if I was playing today, my warm up song would be Wherever I May Roam by Metallica. Because that
That's another good one.
first few bars sounds almost Chinese. Like people would be tripping out.
Right?
Does that sound like my personality or what?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, any of the, you know, uh 80s Metallica songs are awesome intros.
Oh yeah,
Paul
yeah.
Konerko had I think it was For Whom the Bell Tolls, right?
Oh,
And
there you go.
um, you know,
Like Trevor Hoffman.
okay, so that was Hoffman, but then wherever or of Wolf, whatever, I forgot what Canerco's was, but yeah, Hoffman had a good one, and um, you know, some of the
Oh no, he was
Ride the
Hell's.
Lightning.
Hoffman was Hell's Bells. You're right. For
O-
Whom the Bell
Okay,
Tolls was Konerko. Yeah.
okay,
Trevor
yeah,
Hoffman was Hell's Bells. Yeah. In
yeah.
AC/DC.
Yeah, when the whom the bell tolls, in Chicago, and there's runners on base or whatever. What's up, Mondo? How you doing? Am I starting today?
Oh, he left you, but
Okay. Hey guys,
You
I
got
got a
5
jam.
minutes.
There's my buddy
All right,
Mondo.
man.
We're on a podcast here,
what?
Brother, brother.
baseball
Thanks a
podcast.
lot.
Eric
Appreciate
played
it.
at UCLA
Nice.
and
What's
the
up?
Reds, so yeah. Say what's up to
These
everyone.
old farts over here playing ball. It's
Yeah,
old
Yep.
fart
love it.
baseball.
Yeah. So I
Let's
told
do it.
Mondo, I
Do
told
it.
him about how I played center for you, and didn't tell Mondo here that I was a pitcher.
And I knew it right away.
Yep, he could see
I
it.
said, dude, you're a pitcher, dude. Don't
Of
you
course.
bullshit me. He threw a ball on a
When he,
line from dead center
when he,
to home plate. It
Yep.
threw a strike.
when he
I'm
throws a
like,
rocket
bullshit.
on a line to the base, yeah, I think he probably
Yep.
threw the
But you
ball.
haven't seen the best throw I've ever seen in my life, though, was one from the mound over the barn, over
Yep.
left field. That was my favorite one.
Yeah. Hopefully we won't have any of
Over
that
the
today.
bar.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go play
Yeah.
catch,
Oh
guys.
God.
Great chatting with
All
you.
right, man. Take it
We'll
easy.
catch you next time. Okay.
All
See you
right.
guys.
All right. Bye.